Party people! Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Do you know that song? Come on. Yes? What year was that for me? Whoop, there it is. 7th grade, I think. 7th grade, you guys. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. I thought you knew. Nah, you know that song. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. That's what happens when you guys all pop up on the screen. Whoop, there it is. What, Nella? How's it going? Good. Yeah? What? Is it hot in Waimea?
No, it's cold.
It's hot over here. Oh gosh, all these rap songs are popping into my head now. Okay. Niao, how are you? You look like you're in the gym. Oh man. We'll play horse after. Yeah. Who else like play horse? Tasia, you want to play horse? Damon wants to play horse. Okay, just waiting for people to show up. It is 1:20. We better start. Becca, how are you? Are those real glasses or are those blue glasses?
Blue.
They're blue. No, they're red. Okay, never mind. Okay, hi, Miss Emily. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Tell me something funny.
I dropped an apple today in slow motion.
Right. What are you trying to be on the giver? Trying to be in the giver. That's when he first sees color, the apple. Do you remember that? All right. Ahi, how are you? You good? Okay, everybody did their push-ups this morning. 25 push-ups. Nai's like, why would I do 25 push-ups? Well, because we need to be strong enough to carry the kula. We gotta be strong enough to carry the groceries in the house. No? Tasia's like, I gotta be strong enough to hold people off on the field. That's the worst. Who else plays soccer? Becca plays soccer. Tasia. Who else plays soccer? Yeah, you play soccer. Oh, Nella, you play soccer. You know what's really sad about soccer is like the people who cannot throw the ball in. Oh my gosh. It's like they throw it and it's like, that's all. If you ever see soccer and they're like, ugh, and they can't throw it, it's like really bad. It's really bad. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah. All right. Whatever, you guys. Let's get into our canvas real fast. I just really want to just take a quick moment to give a shout out to the two ladies in the Seeker. Weren't they adorable? What was the whole point in them going to Tahiti? Anybody? Yes, Nine.
To unravel
Tutu man, right?
To what?
Find their tutu man.
Yes, find their tutu man. Ahi, what did you say about unraveling something?
Oh, to find out what one of the ladies' dreams was.
Right. To search for the heart of the drum, right? And this drum is calling us. So metaphoric. I don't know if you guys ever, does anybody play those big pahu drums? No? Dang. when you hear them, just like them hitting them, like even like at Ho'ike last year for Ke'elekolani, those drums are mean, right? So there's this thing about this really special feeling when you hear people beating on those pahus, right? It like shakes you from the inside out. It's amazing. Okay. So anyway, what else? We're talking about them, the two ladies going to Tahiti, right? And they talk about Hokulea. What happens at the like toward the end with Hokulea?
Don't they like sell into the what's this stuff? What's it called? It's like a place in Tahiti or something like that. The tapu.
Tapu. Yes, thank you. Okay, so how did they break that tapu? Right, they had to go through, because last time Hokulea came over to Tahiti, they didn't go through and help to break the kapu at Tapu Tapu Atea. So when they did that, what was the whole magical moment of that situation? Anybody besides Damon, you can answer that question. Anybody, what was that whole magical moment of going through that little passageway? Kikama, you know? You remember?
No, I don't remember.
Oh, come on. It's the chicken skin moment in the story. What was it? So as you guys know, I told you guys that the story cut short because I don't know what happened to the last couple pages. So you had to go into the link and read the last part. What happens when they get to Tapu Tapu Atea? And they got to go through this little passageway. Anybody? Kayla, what happens?
Was it on the link with the article? Oh, I didn't read that.
Ah!
It wasn't working for me.
Wait, okay, same, because also the link for me wasn't working.
Try Google it right now.
Okay.
Just Google The Seekers Herb Kane. Niall, is it working? Thumbs up or thumbs down? The link to The Seekers. Oh my gosh, all you got to do is Google it. Okay. I need you guys to find out what is that moment. Okay. There's a couple that needed to be broken. What was it? Why was it such a chicken skin moment? Okay. All right. So the whole point, right, for those two ladies to go to Tahiti, I think you guys know, right, was to find that connection. Okay. So the point, why did you have to read this story? It's a long story. Why do you have to read this story while we're in our research unit, right? Okay. And maybe you should write that question down. Why do we have to read The Seekers within our research unit? Okay. Emily, tell me why.
Hokuleo went faster without the increase of the wind.
Yeah, but something else happens. Okay. Anybody know why you would have to read this story? It's a story called The Seekers during the research unit. Tasia, take a guess. Why would you have to read this story during a research unit? Yes, Niall, please tell us.
Oh, why we're reading it?
Yeah, during a research unit. This is a story, but we in the research unit. So why would I assign you a story like this?
Well, I raised my hand to talk about the chicken skin part.
Oh, okay. What is the chicken skin part? It's asking you guys too many questions at one time, I think.
It said, well, I lost it. Let me find it. It says like the vol was just sailing in the general direction of. Well, I gotta find it now.
They had kind of their own Jesus take a wheel moment.
Yeah.
Why?
Wait.
Find it. You guys should be looking. At least pretend to be looking. Just joking.
Because it's giving you information that most people doesn't.
Somebody was talking. I don't know who it was. Was that in my own head or was that actually somebody saying something? Who wants extra credit? Oh, you can email me when you figure out why I would assign you this crazy story of two ladies and why it relates to why did I put it into the research unit. Okay, you can write that down for your extra credit. Maybe about a paragraph. You explain why you think, yeah, that this story was a required reading in the research unit. Okay, Ken, if you guys want extra credit, it's not mandatory. Okay, everybody good? Some of you guys needed extra credit last quarter and didn't take it, and you guys could have bumped your grade from a B plus to an A minus. You guys have no idea how heartbreaking that was. Anyway, okay, let's move on because it seems like we're not ready to talk about the Seekers, and you need to read the Seekers just like how you needed to read Giving Back, because those things that I'm assigning you, they're actually forming your ideas in your head, or helping to either reinforce or maybe change the course of what you're thinking about. Okay, so you guys gotta keep up with your reading. Okay, all right, let's move. Go to module 2.2, please. 2.2, and then I'm just gonna share my screen with the environmental and sustainability slides. I think one of my neighbors is making like shoyu chicken or something. It smells so good. Might want to eat it and invite myself over. Okay, so let me see. No. Okay, everybody can see my slides. Yes, nod your head, Joe. Yes, okay. All right, so just as a reminder, yeah, just to kind of establish what we're doing, we're gonna look at the first 3 bullets on this slide, right? So again, this project that we're doing, this research paper that we're doing, we're learning how to research and brainstorm and combine innovative and traditional methods of knowledge to create a solution for one of our needs in our community, right? So we're trying to figure out what is the need in our community that should be addressed in my research. Everybody good on that? Give me a thumbs up that you understand that. Okay. Next bullet, to solve our current challenges, dealing with the pandemic, reopening Hawaii, and being reliant on outside goods. So this is us really thinking about being sustainable, okay? Being sustainable is a little bit different from sustainability, okay? And I'm going to explain. Anybody know the difference between sustainable and sustainability? Anybody?
I do.
Oh, who's that? Who's that? I do.
Ahi.
Okay, Ahi, what do you think?
Sustainable means that one particular object or thing is able to sustain its own self. Sustainability is being able to provide a stable flow of resources amongst others while keeping yourself what's it called? Stable with everybody else, I think. Right?
Right on. Right on. Okay, so to paraphrase, okay, so sustainable, can you provide for yourself? Can you be reliant only upon yourself? So if you look at like our island, can our island be sustainable? Can we stand on our own, right? And so I think before we left on break, I talked about how none of us could probably sustain on ulu or kalo or uala for each meal. But could we, if we had to? Nod, okay, because we'd be starving, right? And so we'd have to eat something, which leads me to sustainability, which is different, right? That's like the act of preserving our land so that the future has land to, or has natural resources to do things. Did I get that right, Ahi? Okay, Raja Dajas. So there's two different meanings, right? You have two different words, they're two different things. Now the question for you guys is this, and you might want to write something like this down, okay? But can we live a life of sustainability and be sustainable? Can we live, you should be writing this down, can we live a life of sustainability and also be sustainable? Like in meaning, can we do everything right to our land, to our natural resources, and still create a life that we can be prosperous, have our own money, live without the barge coming in, right? Because that's a lot of you guys mentioned the barge. Everybody's talking about the barge because the toilet paper, right? And the spam. So that's the question I'm posing to you guys, because that's the challenge, really. Can we take care of our Aina, and yet can we also have enough money to buy the things we need? Becca, talk to us about that. Do you think is it possible for us to be able to do that? You can be real.
Okay, wait, so the question is, can we live a life of sustainability and still be stable?
Sustainable. Like, you mean, can we still like live a life that we don't have to depend on other people to live?
Oh, no, I don't think we can, because we rely a lot on the internet and the things that that's modern now. Like, there's not much farming anymore that we do. Okay, wait.
What was that?
My brother, playing with his car thingy and it's making so much noise. So I had to tell him to shut up. Okay, but yeah. I don't think we won't be able.
Okay. Anybody disagree?
I think we can. It's just people aren't willing to change.
Right. So it's a human problem. Damon, talk about that a little bit. Is it really what Nai's saying? Like, yeah, we can happen, but we don't want to.
Yeah, because we're so like we adapted to like how we live today with like the internet, and we rely so much on stores. So like if we're to make a quick change and like all that got cut off, we'd probably like wouldn't want to. And because of how our lifestyle is, we wouldn't want to like go and farm and stuff like that.
Right.
But I think eventually we'll give in and try farm because you know we're gonna die.
Right.
Want to.
Right.
So I definitely think we would be able to adapt.
Right. We would have to, right? Just like how we adapting right now. Like this almost feels normal-ish, right? That I'm talking to you guys on a screen, but I feel really connected to you guys. Like I feel like I know you guys a little bit. It's cool. We got a handle, right? As Niao, his new normal is when he wants a snack, he gotta lift his mask up and then put it in his mouth and then put the mask down. I mean, anybody else forget to like that they have a mask on and they try to drink water? It's a mess. Yeah. Or you're like, oh, I want to eat, but I have my mask on. Like, okay. So anyway, very good. This is going to transition me into your biology classes. So I believe a number of you guys read the excerpt for collapse. No, act like you didn't, because I had just spoken to your Kumu Echeverria about this whole like interesting excerpt about
I didn't.
Rapa Nui. Okay, yeah, some of you guys didn't. In Mrs. Glennon's class, some of you guys you didn't read it there, but that's okay. You're gonna bring your own knowledge to the table. Okay, so she talked about the land division in Rapa Nui. Somebody talk about that because I wasn't there. Becca.
So they divided the land. They didn't do wait, what is it called? The way we divided it, like all the land was divided by the chiefs and what they wanted, so it was uneven. And they didn't have what we have, like it was all even from Mocha to Makai and stuff. So it was hard for them to get the resources that they each wanted. And there's like a big gap in the middle. That was like where all the rocks were. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So, wow, when you think about your ancestors dividing up the land from Malka to Makai and then beyond, you think, holy smokes, they were really smart, right? They're really smart in comparison to like the Rapa Nui people who they divided their land crazy. I don't know. I don't have the map, but Kuma Echeverria was showing me. But like just sections, random sections throughout like the coastline and maybe a little bit in, right? Am I right? Okay, and it was weird because they didn't cut it down from like the top of the Mauna all the way down to the shore. They didn't do that. So they did not have any exchanging of goods from Malka to Makai, which is not sustainable, right? Can somebody from Kumu Echeverria's class talk about the problems of that? Nobody? So when they were did they trade their goods?
Yes.
Okay, but what happened?
Wait, could you repeat the question, please?
Like just what were the problems with their land division on Rapa Nui compared to how we divided the land here in Ahupua'a?
I think one of the problems with the land. Okay, wait. Excuse me.
Somebody say something.
Okay, so I think the problem with it was that they had to like rely on each other, and they couldn't like make it or like sustain by themselves. So like if one ran out of resources, then the other would try to like rely on them for that, but then they don't have it anymore. So then they just completely run out of like maybe like fish or wood.
Right, they would run out of their resources that they were supposed to trade with another group because of where they lived, and they ended up not being able to work properly together. Right? Okay, what else, Anela? Anela, you remember anything else?
I'm looking at my notes right now.
Oh, cool, cool, very cool.
Let me refresh real quick.
Yeah, refresh them. Okay, what else? Who else? Kikama. What else do you remember from reading that collapse?
Wait, you cut off. Wait, what did you say?
Oh, what do you remember from reading Collapse? Because this is related to like our environmental justice unit. Or Rapa Nui. Forget. We get amnesia.
Wait, which one?
Either Collapse or when you guys talked about Rapa Nui in Kumachavaria's class. Kalukalani, what about you?
What was the question?
Tell us something about what you guys read in Kumachavaria's class with Collapse, or talking about the land issues or sustainability issues with living on an island like Rapa Nui.
There's a lot of overfishing and overfarming and like collecting wood and stuff, and then like they didn't know when they ran out of stuff, or like they didn't know when other areas ran out of stuff.
Yeah, so very interesting because Kumachavaria's class talked about what is that, Rapa Nui as one place that like they ran out of resources. They ran out of natural resources, right? So I think you guys talked about like the person who had to cut down the last tree on that island, what that was like, right? Very interesting. We might look at that group of people as being not so smart, right? Because they used all their wood or they used all their resources and now they can't really live on the land. But does that sound familiar to us right now? Kind of does, right? What are people 100 years from now going to think about us?
I think they're gonna think the way that we think about Rapa Nui and like the other islands like Mangareva and Henderson, because they ended up getting like most of those things became extinct, like the birds, the people, and things like that. And then I forget which island it was, but one of them like kind of eroded.
Yeah, they couldn't grow anything on there.
And the rats eat the chickens and the birds, so then that's also why it got extinct. And plus the people had nothing else to survive on, so they went to the birds to survive.
Right.
I don't think that was really our case with like the overfishing and hunting though. I think it's just us and the farming. Like we don't have enough of that to be able to survive without the mats and containers.
Right. And 12 of them fell into the Hilo Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and had plenty action in the water. Plenty crazy like wildlife in the water after the mats and containers. Yeah. So anyway, when we look at, what is it called? Henderson Island?
Yes.
Mhm.
It is crazy. You guys see my screen, yeah? The Pitcairn Islands. Look at this. We're moving, right? Do you see it? Do you see it happening? So this island is crazy. Henderson Island is an uninhabited island in the South Pacific. Okay, with a couple other islands around there. Okay. Look at that. Uninhabited. They were inhabited before. Okay. What happened was they used their resources to the point of no return. Okay. They didn't have any trees. What happens when people on an island have no trees?
Erosion.
Erosion.
The trees hold the like the soil, like the roots from like sliding and stuff. And I'm pretty sure, I think it was Henderson Island, but I'm not too sure, that the rain kept coming, so the sand kept eroding. But
And there's also less places for animals to live, like the birds and all of that.
Right. You can't.
Yeah.
They cannot live on rocks, right? They cannot
Yeah.
live on an island without topsoil. That's why, like, our island is actually Momona. Like, our island, we can grow enough food to sustain us. Okay, but it's just where are we sending all this food to, right? Okay, so anyway, look at that. I mean, incredible how far away things are. Okay, very interesting. They ended up cutting down all their trees. They ended up running out of trees. If you don't have trees, you don't have canoes. If you don't have canoes, what happens?
no transportation.
You stuck. You stuck on the island. Okay. What happens after you eat all the fish and you have no canoes?
You don't have like much to eat.
No. And then if you guys look on your screen and you see everybody, right? I can stop sharing. When you see all of us, right, in the gallery mode, some of you guys looking a little delicious, right? If you don't have anything to eat, what happens?
So they became cannibals.
Right. Okay, so Kumechavari had you guys read that part, right, where they had to start eating the people on the island because they had nothing else. Is that sustainable?
Yeah, but like how did that work? Like did they just go and like kill people? Or like did people say like, okay, you can eat me?
I don't know. I don't know if there was a junk and a pole. I don't know if there was like that one looking a little bit, might as well he died. You know, like I don't know. I wasn't there. That'd be very interesting. But let's just for a second, let's have our minds go there. And let's look at everybody on the screen, right? Let's just pretend we on Henderson Island and this is it. We ate everybody else. He's like, yep, that one looks delicious. We'll put some salt and pepper.
Would they could they like take parts of their body and just eat themselves?
Right, that's what I'm thinking. I think I can like afford a piece right here, you know? Like, I don't know if I could eat my own arm though. I'd be like, oh, you like trade arms or what? Like, I don't know. Right? I get a little bit over here. I can give up, you know, like, I don't know. How would you do that? I mean, you know, thank goodness for quarantine. I mean, we look a little different. Yeah. I'd be like, Ahi, you hungry? We all be sleeping with one eye open. That's for sure. That's for sure. right? Unless you're thinking, okay, I promise I'm not going to eat you. You promise you're not going to eat me, right? Because that's not sustainable. I think at some point you're going to flip the switch though, and your survival instinct's going to kick in, and then what? Tasia might be like a little hungry, right? I think that would be the time where, like, if you're skinny, you don't have to worry. People are not going to want to bother. Yes, Kikama.
Personally, I would eat Damien.
Me too.
Yeah, you wouldn't even just like say, "Oh, try." You like Quapo. You like trade one Thai meat for your Thai meat.
No, I would catch him in his sleep, and I would.
Oh, you see, we'd all be like zombies because we wouldn't sleep. We'd be like, "Nope, I'm not going yet." I don't know. Would you eat dirt? For real, not eat dirt like you fall down. Like, would you eat dirt?
I think I would find bugs inside the dirt instead of eat somebody because
That's
I
how
don't-
you die. You literally
No,
you would
no.
die.
People can
But
eat.
you would eat worms like
Yeah.
cockroaches,
Yup.
ladybug. You would eat that kind.
Someone in some
You would smile and you'd have bug in your teeth. Like
No, that I would just swallow it. I wouldn't even chew.
Kill Kikama and I would eat him because I'm bigger than him. So therefore, like I would win that battle, and
Yeah.
I don't think he would be able to eat me.
Right. But I mean, we could do like lucky number drawing. I mean, we could do it that way. We could, play Chase Master, right? And then we
Wait,
could,
I'm not going past the fact that Anela said she's gonna eat bugs.
yeah.
I'd
But I
rather
mean,
eat bugs than somebody. That is disgusting.
okay.
She's gonna swallow bugs.
I'll be in your tribe then.
I'd rather eat a
because-
finger. I'd rather eat a finger than be eating a cockroach. Like to be
Brother.
dead serious, I'd rather eat a finger.
No more meat on the finger. You gotta eat a calf.
Toothpick.
Oh well,
would
yeah.
be better.
If you don't have leg muscles, then probably that's not the best place. Okay, let's move on. That was funny. All right. So as we move towards the rest of our day, now that we've had fun pretending who we would eat, okay, we're brainstorming our topics. I'm gonna send you guys into breakout groups. I need you guys, okay, to open up that document that has your topics that you're thinking about. Okay, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take about 5 minutes and we're just going to share out what we're thinking about researching. I need you guys to be good friends to each other and say, you know what, that's one junk topic. I think you should try again. Okay, or yeah, that's a great topic. Okay. Remember, the topic has to deal with a need in our community that deals with either the environment or sustainability. Everybody clear on this, right? So make sure you check each other. Like, oh, Emily, we already did that research in 7th grade. We should do something more complex. Like, I need you guys to keep each other on track. In fact, turn each other in if you guys like, oh, she did that topic last year because I was her partner. Like, challenge each other to choose something worth your time. Okay, so in your little breakout rooms, you're going to say something like this. We're in the brainstorming topics section of the module. Everybody there? Okay, so I'm giving you guys things to say so that you guys are not weirdos and you just stare at each other on the screen. So if you look, I gave you guys some things to say, like student who is sharing. You could say, after some exploring, I'm interested in blah, 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 and blah, 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 because why? Blah, 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 right? So I want you to explain. And then you can say, another topic that I'm looking at is this, and then explain why. Where the magic happens is when the group members go through the feedback. Oh, you know what? The thing that I liked about your topic was this, right? But then I have a question, right? So you go through the tag. Do you guys see what I'm talking about? The TAG feedback. You're gonna ask a question. You're gonna say something, and don't be a weirdo. I need you guys not to be weirdos in the breakout rooms. Talk, right? So you can say like, yeah, this was cool, but I have a question about blah blah blah. I don't understand what you mean by horizontal. No, what is it? Vertical farming. What is vertical farming, and why would that be helpful, right? And then you get your answer, and then you're gonna give a suggestion. You know what I was thinking? Maybe we could do it this way, or maybe you could research about this. That's what I saw in my research. Okay, so you're gonna take about 5 to 10 minutes to talk stories in your small groups. I need you guys to talk to each other. I need you guys to ask each other questions. Can? Okay, promise me. Repeat after me. Kumu. I promise not to be a weirdo. Just joking. I can't believe I made you guys do that. Okay. Don't be weirdos, and I want you guys to talk to each other. Okay, go. Somebody go first.
I'll go second.
Way to take the initiative.
Thank you.
I'll go first.
Tasia, sometimes you gotta go first, okay? Or second.
So after some exploring, I am interested in researching. Oh no, I am interested in overhunting because after my research, I've seen that 200 species of both plants and animals that grow in Hawaii are classified as invasive. So I feel that if you are to overhunt the invasive species, would leave less of a chance of the native species to expand. I don't know. That's what I was thinking. There's more to it, but my head is all over the place right now.
Okay, my turn. Is it my turn?
Well, you're supposed to say something
Or
like,
give
thank you
feedback,
first.
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta give feedback.
Okay. I think that's a pretty good topic because it's basically, it is a problem in like today's society where people just overhunt everything, like fish and all of that. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good topic, and if it was like addressed throughout the community, then maybe our forests would be better.
Your turn, Tasia.
Yeah, like he said, it's a really good topic. And instead of instead of hunting native species and hunting invasive species, there's more chance for our native species to grow.
Is that where you're going with that? What you just shared with us? Yeah.
Well, yeah, and like also increasing the land capacity in like different places, like the national park. I was thinking that, using that as my example.
What do you want the national parks to do?
Give a bigger space for our native species to expand.
Oh, so that's part of gathering, like exploring the information. So what is happening now that are they doing that now, right? So if you were to look at like maybe the DLNR website or NARS it's called, they're already like fencing off places, large pieces of land to protect native plants from ungulates, hooved animals, right? If you have any like relatives that work for DLNR, a lot of them are camping like for a whole week because they have to go build fence or maintain fence lines or whatever it is, to make sure that certain animals don't go into that one part of the area or something like that. Okay, so it would be good to look that up. And then could killing those invasive species become now a food source?
Some of them.
Some of them, right? Like what? Like Neil, you hunt, so maybe you could help her.
Yeah, I could.
Like
Can do.
what are some of the animals that you would hunt?
So first off, it's pigs, because they just make and ruin everybody's yards, and they're invasive to begin with, and they kind of just spread all kind of mosquitoes and all that. So, but everybody does that already. So
Yeah.
yeah.
My auntie's backyard is messed up. Like she can't even grow grass now. It's all moss because the pigs have torn up her backyard.
Where does she live?
Paneva.
Really?
In the ag lots in the back. Like
Oh.
the highway.
Oh.
Like families of pigs. I swear she's raising the pigs. It's crazy. Like anyway. Okay, go on. And then I'm gonna go to a different group. It's important after you share that you guys give feedback, okay? Questions. Drop some questions, okay?
What is your topic?
Mine?
Yeah.
The barges, because so I want to talk about like how people are only relying on the barges instead of like trying to go do something for themselves, like garden or raise their own food. They're just thinking, okay, the people from California or whatever are gonna give me food, are gonna put it inside the containers, are gonna bring it, and then I'll be fine. Because they don't think about like what if something bad happens. Because I think something happened with the barges before, and then people got all scared and started panicking, taking everything from raiding all the stores, and then they realized like afterwards they didn't have to do that. So if we garden, then we won't have to go to the store. We don't have to rely on the store to have our vegetables. And then if we have our own cattle, we won't have to, rely on the stores for meat and stuff.
So we should be like more reliant on ourselves instead of so like grow your own food, catch your own fish, or shoot your own food, like pigs and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then like a lot of people are gonna do is overfish or something, because they're gonna try and catch as much fish as they possibly can, so that they can just store it in their freezer.
Oh yeah.
They don't have to worry about it, which is a problem. Yeah. Anything else from your topics that you have an interest in?
Emily, what was your topic? Did you finish already?
Yeah, mine was Hawaii landfills because they're mostly full and they're burying the trash because they're trying to make solutions.
Very good. I would even be interested in somebody researching what do you do with the old cars?
Don't they smash it? Like they press it, don't they?
Recycle.
They smash them. Okay. What about
what happens after that?
What about the cars that are on people's lots?
About the what?
All the cars that are on people's lots that they don't drive anymore.
Oh, those get covered by the weeds, and then it just becomes a nice mound.
Yeah.
I'll try to do that.
I don't know. Like that would be an issue. So, like, Emily, your rubbish issue, very good. Okay. That's a real issue. We have to move our rubbish in those big trucks over to Kona side now. Our landfill is closed. Like, that's not sustainable to drive all that trash up and over Saddle Road to Kona. That's stupid. And then the thing is, okay, well, where would we put that next landfill then, Hilo side? Where would we put it? Not in my backyard. Everybody's going to say that, right? Not in my backyard. Not in my backyard, right?
Yeah, that's gonna what is it called? That's gonna bring down like the
property values.
Yeah, property values.
Yeah, very good. It sounds like you have a lot of adult conversations. Okay, very good, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna visit somebody else. Keep talking though about maybe what that looks like if we maybe limit the amount of tourists coming here.
Because they let tourists come back.
Because they just opened. Yeah, that would be a really interesting thing to talk about. Maybe look it up, like how many tourists just came.
7,000.
So you just look it up. It's crazy. Ever since Hawaii opened up, how many tourists?
So wait, so what do you mean by like Hawaiian homelands? Like you want to add more? Tuklani.
Yeah. What?
Like more property, so like homeless, like wait, so do you have the problem with like homeless, like the amount of homeless, or like
the
cost?
Foreigners?
Like do you want to reduce the initial cost or the initial value of land but still maintain the size of it, or like the yeah
like drop the cost like for Hawaiians, like instead of like having like people from the mainland just buy our land and they not even live here, like they don't do anything with the land, some of them, and they just buy it to buy it. Like I think we should lower the cost.
Yeah, I understand that, but like, so you want to lower the cost and like not allow foreigners to buy land?
No, I mean they can buy land, but like I feel like the Hawaiian should come
like
first.
give it or like save it for people that actually need it, and just like
a priority kind of thing.
Yeah, like certain places.
I think this is a really interesting topic because this is part of an environmental sustainability issue, and it's also a sustainable issue because if we don't have our people connected to the land, then they become lost in their own land, right? They don't have a place to call their home. They're homeless, or they have to live off of somebody else's piece of land. So there's many issues with your topic. So you might wanna, this is gonna be a really interesting topic, but you have to maybe focus on it. Is it going to be related to DHL land? Or are you going to focus on the entire thing about should we have nobody own land? So with that, in just giving you an example, in New Zealand, nobody owns land. Only the Maori have rights to their land. Does that make sense? So what they do is that they only lease or they only rent the land. Does that make sense to you guys? So you can lease the land.
I mean, if we did start to do that, like who would we pay? Like the mayor? I mean, they would still try. People like would still try and like spend it. Otherwise, because it's not technically our money.
Mhm,
'Cause we're
mhm.
still paying to live there no matter what.
Yeah. So they use that money to make sure the roads are nice, maybe to educate the kids, right? All those types of leases and things like that. The money goes to help out the community. Yeah. Kalukalani. So I think the land in general is really an interesting topic. What are we to do, right? We're gonna run out of land, right? Your guys' kids might not have a chance to own a piece of land, right? I just saw that, you know where Hapuna is, right? And the hotel. In between that, people are there are like condos or something being sold for $3.5 million. You guys got 3.5 million.
Oh, down in Puako.
Puako is an entirely different but similar situation where people are just buying up that land down in Puako, right? Like my family had a beach house down there. It's gone already. Somebody else bought it. It's worth like $1 million now or more, right? Yeah. So then what happens? Do we not have access to the shoreline? Does this become Rapa Nui, right? I don't know. So Kalukalani, that's a good topic. You got to figure out, maybe you got to focus it a little bit more, yeah? The price of land, incredible. We only have a finite amount of land. So if people from outside come and buy the land, what's going to happen to the local people, the Hawaiians here, right? So you ever heard that term, strangers in your own land, right? Those indigenous people, local people, people who are from the soil, they become disconnected. They don't have their old way of life anymore because they don't even have a piece of land to do that, right? Then what happens, right? It's really sad. You should research that. What happened in the past? Like, so go ahead and write down Great Mahele. The Great Mahele happened in 1846 to 48, okay? 1840, around 1848, around 1848. What happened to those people that didn't have money and that lived on their land that their family lived on for hundreds of years? What happened, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to find out that people were displaced because people started owning the land. It's the same problem that's happening now. Okay. All right. So check that out. Damon, what is your topic?
My topic is like pollution in the water and ocean and like how humans impact it and how like role we play.
Right. So as you know that Hawaii opened up, right?
Yeah.
Some people think there was a major opportunity that was missed to control the flow of people coming into Hawaii for fun. Right? And so how many gallons of sunscreen is being dumped into the ocean every year, right? If you had like 10 million people come, tourists come to vacation, how many of those people went into the ocean and impacted, right? Stepped on the reefs, did all of that stuff, right? But it's not only that, right? So you can also focus on things like fertilizing, right? Fertilizers, the runoff, right? So the things that you talked about in Kumacha Various class, you can also use, okay? All right, Ahi, what about you?
Mine was overfishing.
Can you write down food supply chain? Okay, write that down, write that term down, food supply chain, because that became a topic because of the barges, right? The food supply chain, is very fragile in Hawaii because once the barges stop coming, the supply chain breaks. Okay, got it? Okay. All right. I'm gonna bring us all back together so I can talk about some major issues, and then we're gonna move on to the outline and things like that. Okay. All right. So hopefully you got to hear about some of your classmates' topics, and hopefully you also help to improve each other's topics a little bit deeper. Okay. A little bit more focus as well. So a couple things, right? Most of you guys are going to talk about something that's related to the reopening of Hawaii. Major issues going on with that, because some people think there's a major that the government in Hawaii missed a major opportunity to regulate the amount of people coming in as tourists. Right? Imagine, okay, I can't remember what the number was, 4 million tourists last year or something like that. Millions of people came as tourists. Okay, so just think, if they were to spend, each tourist spent 5 days in the Hawaiian Islands, just think about how many water bottles were drank. How many rolls of toilet paper were flushed down. How many styrofoam containers or even just plastic cups were used, right? If there are 4 million people that came to. Where do we put that rubbish? Does that make sense to you guys? So when we start thinking about that, and then maybe even, oh, the tourists had a wonderful time in Hawaii. We're going to buy some land now because it's cheap in comparison to living in San Francisco, where it's like you need $1 million, right? You can get into a house for around $300,000 on the Big Island, guaranteed. Might be an HPP, might be an orchid land, might be down in Pahoa, but you can buy something. In comparison to San Francisco, where you need like a couple million. Okay. Does that make sense to you guys? So this reopening of Hawaii is very interesting. I need you guys to follow this, because already in the last like 5 days of Hawaii opening, how many people came? Do you guys know? And some of them were family members waiting to come home. That's okay. But do you guys have any idea how many people came in the last 5 days?
15,000.
That's a good guess. Let's go ahead and multiply that by 2 and add another 6,000.
Is it
Okay.
36,000?
Hey, you're so good at math. Good job.
I did like earlier. I just said it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So already 36,000 people. 2 of them were my cousins that came home to visit their mom and dad because they're old. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, people have been waiting to come back to Hawaii for whatever reason, right? If they have family or if they're just coming for fun. Okay. I'm not going to tell you if that's bad or good, but just know 36,000 people came in. 36,000 rolls of toilet paper. I don't know. Okay. 36,000 bottles of water, but you got to probably multiply that by, I don't know how many water bottles a day people drink, right? Where does the rubbish go? How many of those feet stepped on the reef and damaged it? How many of those bodies had sunscreen on and decided to jump in the ocean? You guys get what I'm saying? Can we be sustainable when that happens? What would be a viable solution to that? Anybody? Nai, what you think? What would be a solution to, because we cannot not have people come, right?
Maybe limit the amount of people that are able to come. Like the airports can have like a maximum maybe 200. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that, right? And I think you guys know one whole big, that big giant plane that you guys fly. I think there's like 300 something people per flight. Choke. But I don't know if they're all full. I think they got to spread them out. I don't know. Okay. But if we limit, yeah. Okay, you got to get yourself on the list if you want to come. Would that be a solution? Maybe, right? Okay. You want to come to the big island? We're only going to let, I don't know, 50,000 people come every year. Okay. How long are they going to stay for? Who gets to decide who can come and who cannot, right? Is it a first come, first serve basis? What is it, right? So what I'm doing is I'm just giving you guys some scenarios so you guys can start to think about what are the real issues here that we're currently facing. That's what I want you to choose. Does that make sense? So like, yeah, you can choose overfishing or overhunting. Those have been done already. So I need you to expand those topics and talk about maybe the food supply chain. I need you to talk about maybe what it would take for all of us to farm maybe one thing in our community. Each person in our community farms one thing and we just we just share. Yes, Kekama.
For the tourists, we could like jack up the prices, cause like they say it's like paradise and stuff. So if we jack up the prices, then like maybe like less people will come, but still get that you can still get like the income.
Right, the profits, right?
Profits.
Mm-hmm.
Sustain our communities and stuff.
Okay.
How do we know who is like a tourist and who is just trying to come home, or like who's gonna live there? Like, how would we do that?
Oh, we probably would need some kind of identification card. Like how we all have the IDs or whatever, our license. It says, right? That would be interesting. Who thinks that's a really good idea to jack up the prices? You want to come to Hawaii, you better pay, right? That could like weed out a whole bunch of people, right? Okay, Anela, you had something to say.
I think one. Okay, sorry, my sister's doing TikTok. Oh my god. I think. Can you turn that down, please? Yeah. Okay, one thing that I think that might be a plus, but might also bring more tourism is if we have like casinos in like hotels and like legalized gambling. I feel like that might bring more, but Hawaii might also be I don't know how to explain it, like be more sustainable because we can get more money from the people gambling, but it probably would bring more tourism.
Legalize gambling.
Legalize gambling.
Yeah.
We're gonna legal. Okay.
What are some of the problems that are attached to gambling?
People getting mad saying that they have this much money when they like money.
Okay, so I think you're talking about violent crimes could bump up because that sucker took my money. What else?
People can get addictions and like lose their job and stuff like that.
Okay. So yes, with money comes more money, more problems. Just joking. Okay, but you know what I'm saying, right? We have all this money. Now what are we going to do, right? So in a state like New Mexico, they have the lottery, right? And what they do is all that money that's like dumped into the lottery, because they like to play the scratch cards or whatever, they use that money to pay for each graduate who meets the requirements to go to college. So it could be a good thing, what Anela was saying, but it could be a bad thing depending, right? And so where Damien is coming from is like, you know, more money, more corruption, possibly, right? But that might be a really interesting thing, right? Because you hear people saying, oh, if they could only, right, bring some gambling to Hawaii, we go to, and then people are like, no, I want to go Las Vegas, right? People from Hawaii love Las Vegas. They moved there. It's the ninth island. Woo, right? Do we want more people? Remember, we're talking in toilet paper. In terms of toilet paper, okay. Anybody else have a viable solution? Okay, we're gonna move on. All right, mahalo for that. Just quickly in the brainstorming topic section of the module, go ahead and just add in, type in your topic that you're choosing to talk about. Okay, just so that I have it. Got it? Once you're done, move on to the next, hit the next button. If you are still kind of thinking about the topic because you might have changed your topic, then you need to fill this out soon, okay? As soon as possible so that you can move on.
So
Okay,
you just want to put our topic inside the text.
Yeah, that's all you're doing. 10 points. Woo! If you cannot earn these 10 points, I don't know how to help you guys. Okay. All right, so once you're done, hit the next button because we got to move on. We only have 20 minutes left of class and then we have to say goodbye. How we doing? We doing okay? You guys done? Okay, I need you guys to open up that document for that gathering research. You guys all should have your own copies of that. Yes? Nod. Okay. All right, so let's open that up and then I'm gonna talk you guys through this, okay? Because we're running out of time, but I think it's all good, okay? And then tomorrow, if you guys have any questions or whatever, you can email me and we can jump on Zoom and we can like talk about some topics. Or if you have questions, just email me, okay? Some of you guys may change your topics today and that's okay too, okay? But you gotta nail it down. Choose wisely, because if not, it's gonna be murderous. You might start eating your own arm. Shoots. Okay. Yeah. If anybody wants to schedule, just drop me a note in the chat privately if you guys want to meet so that we can make sure you have a good topic, okay? And I can meet you like during block 4 tomorrow. Okay, so just shoot me a little chat. All right, let's move on. We're on this sustainability extended metaphor solution, blah, blah, blah. But this is basically where you're gathering all your research. Okay. I'm just writing down your guys' names who decided they want to meet tomorrow. Okay. All right. Okay. So when you look at this, okay, I need you guys should have chosen one of the topics. If you guys chose a new one, great. Let's jump into the table where it starts with your claim and thesis. Everybody see that right there? We're going to start working on this. So this is you guys talking about the need in my community is this, right? So what am I going to do? I'm researching. What are you researching? That's your claim, right? What are you going to be presenting research on? Right? So that's what your claim is. So just type in that box right there. Everybody good? Okay, this is you guys like really focusing what you're going to be doing. You're going to talk about something like your claim or your thesis is going to say something like, due to my community not being able to dump their trash in a landfill, or due to the landfill closing, comma, I will be what? Researching alternative methods to reduce the amount of trash or something, right? Okay, so come up with that thesis statement, that claim, saying what your focus is on. What are you focusing on the paper? Okay, everybody good? Give me a thumbs up if you guys understand what you're doing. Okay, Kikama, you good? We're typing in that box where it says your claim. Everybody see it? Okay, I can't see your guys, what you guys are working on from my end, so I need you guys to do what you're doing, okay? I'm gonna tell you guys right now that you guys know what land school is, yeah? I'm not gonna use that on you guys, okay? Because I don't like to be creepy. For me, other teachers might use it, but I wanna be able to trust you guys, okay? Can? Yeah, I think that's better. I don't wanna baby you guys. I don't have children. I don't know what it's like to baby people. Okay, we good? You guys got something written down? Okay, let's move on. Now, this metaphor thing, I just want you guys to start thinking about, maybe you can start typing something in there, okay? If you had to make a comparison to your topic to something, what would that be, right? So if you're talking about trash issues, maybe you can focus on what? Mother Earth being sick because we keep feeding her poison, right? What is the metaphor that you can attach to your topic, right? Because you're going to use this extended metaphor throughout your paper. It's going to work out really beautiful. We're talking about, let's see, food. So what would that metaphor be, right? A giant mouth. I don't know. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna work with one of the students at 1:20 tomorrow, but everybody else, let's meet at 1:40. Can write it down, 1:40. Okay. Then we'll just work in a small group, 1:40. Okay, we'll be good. All right. Thank you guys. So the metaphor, right? That you might not be there right now. So once you start really putting together your thoughts, you'll figure out, okay, the metaphor that I'm going to choose to compare my topic to is butterflies. I don't know. Is an old car. Is a puppy. a dog, something like that, right? So choose something that you can relate to the characteristics to something else, right? Like a volcano, right? If we don't solve these problems now, the volcano is gonna explode, right? And then what? Our community is going to explode. Why? Because we can't be eating each other, right? Okay, so anyway, let's move on. Down below the table, you see that in highlight, it says required. You need 5 total sources. Show me 5. 5, 5, 5. Okay, 5 total sources. It got to be different sources, right? So this is going to be kind of hard to wrap your brain around until I go to the outline. Okay, so just hang on for a moment. But if you look at Ulukau, as you know, Ulukau has a search engine to help you look for things like mele, mo'olelo, chance, all of that, right? So Ulukau is the Hawaiian Google. You guys get that? Yes? So use that as a resource. Okay, next thing is EBSCOhost. Go ahead and click on EBSCOhost and get into EBSCOhost. I'm going to point something out to you guys. Okay. Okay. So everybody on EBSCOhost, try look. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready because I'm going to share my screen with you guys so that we can do this together. Okay, good. Okay, so once you get into EBSCOhost, you should have this like menu pop up with all these boxes. Yes? Okay, go down to the second row and then go all the way to the right and click on the high school students one. You see that one? Click on that. Okay, I'm showing you exactly where to go. And then your search engine pops up. So try go ahead and type in something related to your topic, like food chain, supply chain. So like if you're looking at overfishing, maybe you're going to look at food supply chain during COVID. And then you search, and then these articles pop up. The one thing that's really good about EBSCOhost and the search engine is that you don't have to search if it's a credible piece of information because it's already been curated. It's already been, okay, checked out for credible information. Okay, so if you guys look, plenty information. Okay, so use this. Promise? Promise. Okay, good. All right, I'm going to go back to this thing over here. Okay, other credible sources, make sure it just has a .com or .edu, or I think .org you can use as well. Those of you guys who came up from middle school, you guys know about the CRAP test. One thing I want you to focus on is this. Show me 5 fingers. Okay, 5 years or less. It has to be current information because as you guys know, plenty information has been updated, right? And so you don't want to use old information. So just follow the CRAP test, make sure that there is an authority speaking on behalf of whatever you're looking at. Now, if you look, the first text box we have here for number 1 is website. You're going to look on a credible website for some information. If you look on the left-hand side, you're going to pull the author, the title of the source. So it could be in italics, just depends. Title of the container. Anytime you pull information from the internet, you gotta get the 2 dates. The first date is the publication date and the second date below is the date of access. Make sense? Everybody understand? Now the other thing is this, you see this notes from the source, because you're working on something in the, like a digital copy, it's easy to copy and just paste it in there, right? You find an article, you see the facts, you copy, and then you paste it. So I would bullet. Yeah, you go into your bullets and then you bullet it. And then you just toggle between each thing. You highlight, you copy, and then you drop it into the box. Everybody understand what they're doing. It shouldn't take you that long, but you should gather as many facts as you can. Okay. So if you look at number 2, a video, go ahead and type in right here, TED, TED space ed, or TED.com. Why? Because we've all seen TED Talk videos in school. You can find a couple videos that are really good for environmental issues, okay? Or you can look YouTube, but remember you gotta double check if it's a credible source of information. Okay, questions on that, the video? Okay, next one, interview. Who are you going to interview? Maybe make sure you figure out somebody who has the knowledge and expertise. You cannot just interview your baby sister. Don't interview baby brother and be like, can you just pretend to be an expert at crying? I don't know. Okay. Make sure you interview somebody with clout. Article, there's your EBSCO host, right? There's your EBSCO host. You drop that in there. Okay, and you drop the information. Number 5, this is Ulukau. Go ahead and type Ulukau next to chant so that you know where to look. Okay, look up information from various sources. This is going to be very helpful. Okay, all right. I'm going through this quickly, but I think you guys understand what I'm talking about. I'm going to go to the next. So if you guys are splitting your screens, go ahead and split your screens. So now we come to the outline for research paper. This is due before you return next week. Can? Yes. Why? Because it's only notes. So I gave you guys some things to read as far as like, what is the point of your research? So anytime you're organizing your ideas, please stick to these 3 questions to help guide you, okay? Go down. I gave you an example of what a counter argument is because you need to state some counter arguments in your paper. So go ahead and make a copy of this outline. Everybody go. Okay, so you click on that, make a copy. So go File, Copy, Boombas. Okay, take off copy of and put your first name so that you turn in the correct one. Am I going too fast? Are you guys good? Good. Okay. Kalukalani, you good? Okay. All right, are we good? Can I move on? So when you look at this, you're writing a 7-paragraph essay. We're moved on from a 5-paragraph essay. We're going to do a 7-paragraph essay. If you look, it's not that hard. Why? Because each paragraph has its topic. So that's how you're going to organize yourself anyway. Okay. When you look at this, you have your introduction. So you're going to say what you're talking about. And then look at body paragraph number 1. You're going to talk about the needs of the community. Easy, yeah? You just research. Okay, this is what I found out. My community is in need of this, right? And then you state your evidence and then you explain. State your evidence and explain. Body paragraph number 2 talks about what people are doing presently to solve the problems. Make sense? Okay, so that's how, how you're going to figure out where to look. Yeah. What kind of information you need to find. Okay, here's the counterpoint. Make sure if one of the present solutions is that everybody grows their own food, the counter argument might be something like, yeah, everybody can grow their own food, but not everybody might have the land that it takes to grow the food. Do you hear that counter argument? Right? It's kind of like, oh, right here, you guys are experts in counter arguing. Why? Because you guys are teenagers. Ma, can go to the beach. No, baby, not right now. You didn't do your chores. Yeah, but Ma, you said that I gotta go outside and play and exercise. Why not let me go to the beach, right? That's a counter argument. All your mom has to say is no, though. So you have 2 body paragraphs, body paragraph 2 and 3 that talk about present solutions. So make sure you research that. What are people doing now to address the needs of the community? Good? Everybody clear on that? Next paragraph, body paragraph number 4. possible solutions. So now we're talking about what are the possible solutions. We're gonna look at possible solutions from your ancestral knowledge, right? Could this work? If we need to shore up and solidify the food supply chain, what are some of the things in the past that could probably work now, right? And then the counter argument would be like, yeah, we could make a lo'i, but there's too many chemicals in the ground and it's going to be unsafe. Something like that, right? Okay, next thing. Another possible solutions. That's open right there. Okay, and then you're going to close it with a call to action. What do you want other people to do? Okay. Write down only notes. If you write down full-on paragraphs, I'm not going to grade it. I'm also not going to grade this if you don't have your gathering facts, gathering research done. It's a progression of assignments. If you don't do the first one, I'm not going to grade the second one, and so on. Everybody clear? Give me thumbs up. If you don't do the first, you cannot do the second. Why? Because I'm not grading a rough draft. Okay, so make sure you got that. Everybody good? Okay, it's 2:50. It's time to go home. I'll see everybody else back here at 1:40 tomorrow. Okay, if you guys need help. If you need help, if not, email me. Okay, bye you guys. Take care. Do your membing. Do your membing.